shenanigans right now. How are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling well, like who's honestly surprised that Drake is a scumbag? I mean, I feel like people have been known they that's been known for a long time. And I think J. Cole probably made the right move by dipping out early. Uh, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that it doesn't really concern me at all. I think Kendrick is good. He's a way more talented than Drake, but I don't really listen to either of those artists very much at all. So I just like the drama. I
Yeah,
hope
for me, that's I'm not really like in tune with the allegations. I'm tapped into the music. Like when I heard "Not Like Us," I was like, "This is actually like a good song. Like now we have something to really dance to." That's my concern. I know, because it's like for me, the Drake allegations or whatever, it like you said, it's old news. This is not anything new for people who have seen things that have come out about him. So I'm not really like my ears are perked up about it, but I do like the opportunity to bully him. That's always great. That's always a beautiful day for me. But I really like the music.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, Kendrick is just super fucking talented. I haven't heard any of Drake's disses back. I've heard people that like Drake have said that those are good too. So I guess if you're a fan, it's nice that artists on both sides are releasing good music. But if I were Drake, honestly, I would just probably just retire and just take all my money and like move to a tropical island or something. Like I feel like it would just be so stressful to be in the public eye all the time. Like, I used to think when I was younger that I wanted to be famous, but now it just seems like I already know too many people, you know? Already too many people want something from me and blah, blah, blah. So, if you have money, why the fuck do you have to deal with like the negatives of like having all this fame? I don't know. I think is
That's what I was talking about on Instagram because I'm like, rich people, or at least these people specifically, have to be very unhappy in their lives because I think Drake is a fame whore. He loves attention, so he's not going to retire. He's not going to stop making music. He does not care. It's still going to keep ticking for him. But they have to be very unhappy because if I had access to wealth, a family, and all of these things, I would be literally on a yacht somewhere, probably acting a fool.
yeah,
That's what I would be doing.
yeah, 100% he should be on a yacht right now. And if he wants to still post every now and then, that's fine. You know, he can do that DJ Khaled thing, get lost in a fucking in the middle of the ocean on a jet ski, post a thing to fucking Instagram. I don't know. Yeah, Drake should retire. People have been hating Drake for so long. I'm glad that it's commonplace now to just be like, fuck Drake.
Right? Because it for me it's always been really weird watching the trajectory of Drake's career because in the beginning of his career, the same stuff that people are saying now are the same things that they said in the beginning. People have always made gay jokes about him. People have always questioned his authenticity. People have always called him commercial, basic, untalented, et cetera, et cetera. And then for a while, he got, his little bad bitch makeover surgery. And then people started treating him different. And that lasted for a little bit. And then after, I think, the Pusha T drama, it just has gone downhill from there. And people have just been clowning him more and more. And now it's at a society where we're like, it's like when Drake was at the beginning and nobody respected him.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck Drake. Yeah, I don't know. I should listen. I really like Future and I really like The Weeknd and I know they did a track fucking dissing on Drake. I should listen to that shit.
What did you listen to by Future?
The first tape I heard by him was Purple Rain, so I really like a lot of the songs from that album. And then probably my favorite Future song is the Percocet and Stripper joint. Uh, but I don't know. I think Future's got like a cool voice and just he's got a lot like there's one song where he just says, "I'm trying to get high as I can. I'm trying to get high as I can," like 8 times. He's like, "I hate the real me." I'm like, "Damn, dude. Fuck. That's deep." So yeah, Future's good. I like Future. I really like Young Thug. I'm sad that they locked Young Thug up.
A lot of Future's music is very kind of like sad and self-hating. I like some of it, but I am not like a Future fan. I'm not anti-Future or anything. He's just not somebody I gravitated to outside of his like mainstream hits.
Mm-hmm.
I never really like locked in with him. And same with Thug, but I do like some of his songs because Thug is one of them that's like his mind. He doesn't think the way that the typical rapper thinks. I like the way his mind works and some of the things that he says. And I also think he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. I think Spotify is doing a major disservice, though. I think his two best mixtapes, like they don't have. Those are like the only Thugger tapes that they don't have. Slime Season 1 and Slime Season 2. Spotify ain't got that shit, which is a fucking tragedy because he's got so many good songs on those. Those are like my two of my favorite tapes by him. But
Streaming is kind of like that in general. They don't have a lot of the early work of artists. They only have like when they broke out and were super successful. They don't have like the shit that drew people in the first place.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Fuck. I mean, I love Spotify. It's like the if the whole internet got erased tomorrow, as long as Spotify still stood, I would be okay. I would be okay with losing the whole internet as long as I still had Spotify. It's like my best friend basically. But the people need to know when's the first Miss Local Celeb album dropping. Speaking of streaming services, when can we stream your music online?
Oh my God. They keep asking me this question. It's strange because it keeps popping up. So I guess the universe wants me
You
to
got
rush it
bars.
or
You got
whatever.
bars. You can't deny it.
Allegedly. But it is in the works. Right now, I'm in the process of curating all of the songs that I want to make. My method of creation is I will literally make hundreds of songs and then just pick the best that tell the story that I want to tell because I don't want to do something directionless and meaningless. A lot of the songs that I've been putting out there and releasing aren't really super serious songs. They're just me popping my shit or whatever. And I want a couple of those, but I have a big catalog that I do not release and that I safeguard really bad.
Mm.
But I have been creating music regularly. I'm creating music right now. I'm never gonna stop making music ever in my life. I couldn't do it even if I wanted to, because that's just the way that I creatively express myself. So that's always gonna be something. But right now I'm in the process of making sure everything fits together, that I could do the best of the best, that I'm learning more about music, and that I create something that I want to stand by and that I'm proud of. Because you can't redo your first time. I don't give a fuck about the bullshit that I do after that. But the statement that I want to make, I want it to be clear. And that might be overwhelming for some people, but for me, that's the fun of it. Because I'm creating something. That's the whole point of making music, creation. So why would I not go all out with that, you know?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, and you're like thinking about your legacy too. Like, I wish I could do things differently, because I was like, I didn't really know what I was doing until like 12 albums, and even now I still have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. But I wish I had thought about, oh, I only have one chance to do this or one chance to make a first impression, because so much of my early work I would just finish a song and be like, yeah, sounds good enough to me, let's fucking send it. Uh, but you know, everyone's different. I think more like I said, in addition to having bars, I think you also just have like a good understanding of like what makes music good. Like you have good ideas and stick to them. At least from the demos that I've heard, you just have good ideas and stick to them and like make a cohesive song that sounds like legit. Be like, damn, dude, that's fucking hot. So
That's really a kind thing that you say to me, and thank you. But because I pay attention to a lot of people because we're in the age of the internet, and there's so much information out there that you can pull from, and so many people's different experiences, and the conclusions I've come to about fame, wealth, art, and all of that, because it's all tied into one another. You can't remove them from each other. And if you're an artist, you have to accept that those things kind of follow each other. So I've been researching that, and I don't want to be like Nicki Minaj at all, but I do like the fact that she's been making music ever since she was a kid, basically, and she's been working hard to like build up a reputation, to know different people, and really like tell people who she is. And then she got her big shot at like 27. I'd rather deal with that when I'm not young and slow, and I have like more experience and more things to talk about. So for me, I'm really not in a rush. You don't have to do everything when you're super young. You can grow into when you're a better person and have a better understanding of the world and yourself before like rushing into something. Because like you said, I'll create some shit and be like, yeah, that sounds good to me, but I won't post it nowhere. There's an app where I post music and people can listen to it if they want to, but I'm not posting it on like a fucking streaming service or anything, because I'm like, there's certain things that I have to tweak or learn how to do before I ever release something like that. But I do think I will probably start releasing singles in 2025.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! Looking forward to it. Big year. Nice. And like, I mean, if what you said is true, having like hundreds of songs in the vault and shit like that, you're already well on your way. You'll have a prolific career regardless of, like, you've already fucking made hundreds of songs, easy peasy. Um, that's dope. That's dope as fuck. So, would you rather get like a feature from Azealia Banks or Nicki Minaj? Like first album.
Azealia Banks, without question. That's really not a hard question for me. And my like top three, my big three, Azealia Banks is always going to be number one. And I will always believe that Azealia Banks is a better artist, a better creative, a better lyricist, a better rapper than Nicki Minaj in every way. And that's not to say that Nicki Minaj is untalented, because she never will be. Well, but I'm not gonna say she's untalented, but Azealia Banks has more talent. Like, she is a force that cannot be reckoned with, and a lot of people have a lot to say about her as a person, and I don't want to comment on that. But her music, from day one, I know her first song, the first song that she has ever created, and I can say that first song alone, when she was 17 and on MySpace, outshadows a lot of Nicki's work. And it's not because it's just her sentence structure, the way that her mind works, the way that she thinks, the way she pieces things together. I don't think Nicki Minaj will ever be capable of doing something on that level. Like,
yeah,
that's my opinion.
I think as Azealia Banks just has also really good like beat selection too, or just like really unique. Like, I think Nicki might have like a hard time like bodying some of the beats Azealia raps on in the same way that she does.
That's what I mean when I say that Azealia is a better creative than Nicki Minaj, because she has a taste that I don't think Nicki will ever have. Azealia is like fine dining. Her level of selection is unmatched, and she's another person that I try to look to, at least when it comes to creation and putting two things that you usually wouldn't pair together and making it work well to create something new and innovative and have fun, rather than what you'd expect from an Azealia type. Nicki Minaj was about to touch something great when she was in her pop bag, but because of her level of success and the way people perceived it, I think she got scared away from it, and she still is a rapper at the end of the day. And I don't think a lot of people could handle that she is multifaceted, but it's still not in the same way that Azealia Banks is, because Azealia Banks has a song called Venus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. If she would have released that at the same time like Nicki was making Starships or some shit. And I think Venus is a stronger song than the pop that Nicki has delivered. You should really listen to Venus. It's a good fucking
Yeah, I'll check it out. I love AB, so yeah, I'll definitely give that a listen. So would you say she's like your ultimate dream collab, or would there be like any artist that you would prefer collabing with over her, or is she like at the peak?
Well, the people who really matter are dead.
Um,
So yes, she would be my absolute dream collab of all the people living today.
hmm
Yeah, because yeah, fuck, literally all of the people that I've loved so much, they've died. But Azealia Banks for sure. Me and her kind of got into like a Twitter altercation one day, which was
What?
really funny. And she like subbed me on Instagram and everything. Because we used to talk back and forth on
hmm
Twitter and on her Instagram comments, but just on occasion. I'm not gonna claim to know the girl, but I
Right,
have
right.
spoken to her on multiple occasions.
Uh-huh. That's cool as fuck. Yeah, so close. Yeah, I did a song with Lil B the Bass God. That was my biggest rapper that I worked with, but he kind of finessed me out of a few $100s. So,
Lil B has a reputation. He gets
yeah,
around and he has a reputation. And that's not even getting into like the Twitter nonsense that he's gotten into with the underage girls and feet.
yeah,
But
I did the song before hearing about the whole feet fiasco. Um, as a high schooler, I really enjoyed Little B the Bass God, and he was definitely a big reason. I was like, well, fuck, if he can do it, I'm sure I could make music too. Like, as long as you're interesting, people, it seems like people will listen. Like, you don't have to be good in a conventional sense. Um, but as long as you're like bringing something new and unique. And then and then and then he kind of finessed me out of a few $100s, and then it kind of ruined making music for me for a couple months because I was really excited about the song coming out, and then a bunch of shit happened. And I found some shit out, and then I was like, man, I'm not fucking excited about this shit anymore. This sucks. So fuck Lil B.
I feel like that's like a hallmark music making experience because I have my own kind of experience with that, except the person was like exposed for anything. But I do feel like it was a waste of time, money, and energy
Yeah.
because there's an artist named Ocean Kelly,
Mhm.
and they make music for RuPaul's Drag Race, a lot of drag stars. They've had a lot of viral moments in music, and I really gelled with like the brand, the idea, the level of creation, and all of that. So I was like, hey, let me reach out and get them to like maybe produce something for me or mix my record. And I ended up I can take accountability for my parts, but I don't like how I sent in a record to be mixed. It was mixed. I didn't like how it was mixed. I said, you need to redo this. And I sent the necessary information for that to be done. I followed up, albeit very fucking late. And that was my mistake. And learning, you got to be on your shit. You need to follow up with these people and be on your fucking ass. But I followed up like maybe a few months later, and then
Mhm.
he was like, "Oh yeah, I never remixed it, and I don't have the file anymore. The file expired, and you can't get a refund for it." So,
Yeah, that sucks.
right, but it is what it is because it really is all a lesson, and that's what I mean. Like right now, I'm more focused on learning shit and figuring a lot of different things out and having a few experiences before I ever pursue a label or anything like that. Because I do eventually want to get signed to somewhere, but it
Mhm.
would have to be under very specific conditions, or else I'm fine being independent for the rest of my life, and that wouldn't be anything for me. But I do want to eventually get signed to a label, but it will be under very strict conditions. And I do want to be on a label that doesn't have like a lead female artist that they've invested in yet. So the label that I signed to will probably not even be a traditional rap label, but it'll be an experience for the both of us. And like I said, you got to learn how to be on these people's ass because
Yeah.
they will take advantage of you. They'll penny nickel and dime you. They'll do whatever to get over on you. So I'm like, I'm looking for a person who's willing to invest in the vision, do something different, and push toward innovating what music can be, and like really seeing the vision. If not, I'll do that on my own.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like you'll be all right. Like you don't seem like the type that's easily pushed around. So I feel like if someone's trying to take advantage of you, you'll be like, nah, fuck this shit. I'm out. You know, I ain't about to get caught up in this situation. Um, so it's definitely a good mindset
Literally.
to have.
But that's why it has some difficulties because um, I have made a rule that I don't mind doing features with guys or doing a feature on a guy's record or whatever. But for producers, people I spend intimate time with in a studio like that, instead of some shit I could just cut and send back, it has to be a woman. And there's not that many women who produce or do that type of thing. So it's harder, but I've still met a lot of different fucking people that fit the bill. But it's not like where you have more access, because where I'm from, I'm very close to LA, and I've met so many different kinds of people that I've worked with, insane people. But I'm like, I wouldn't even work with you. You're a fucking man. You have all these dudes up in the studio. You try to have me over there? That sounds crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Would you ever want to get like more into like the production side of things and like making your own beats and stuff like that, or are you happy focusing primarily just on like rap and like bars?
I absolutely do want to learn, and I have produced some songs before, but I don't really have super duper confidence in them because it's not my thing. But that's absolutely something that I want to do. I want to be able to be self-sufficient and do everything on my own. Because right now I do like all my mixing and all of this stuff on that end.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first started out, I used to fiddle with beats way more, but I have gotten very comfortable. I'm thinking of doing a song on a beat that I made, because on my poll, a lot of people said that they wanted to hear it. They thought it was good enough. So I'm like, I might experiment with that and see where that goes. And that would probably be one of the first songs that I put on either streaming or like fucking SoundCloud or something. I might put it on SoundCloud. But...
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. Nice. Yeah, that sounds fun. I mean, production is fun. The more, like, sort of miss being like a beginner. Because I feel like the longer you do it, the higher your expectations are for yourself. And then it's just like you're like, oh, this sounds okay, but I know it could sound better. So I feel like the longer I've done it, the more time I spend like chasing perfection. Whereas I prefer to just like be like, okay, this is like suitable, because nothing is ever gonna sound perfect. You know, like there's always gonna be something. If you listen back, you'll be like, okay, like it sounds good, but like this part's not hitting right. But sometimes if you tinker with it too much, you like lose the original magic. So I don't know, it's a hard balance, but I'm sure you'll be. I mean, everything I've heard you post so far has sounded like a fucking could be a hit.
And see, that's the goal. That's my intention with music, and that's why I feel like you gotta create so much, because and when you said perfection is unattainable, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like you can get there, but I've also experienced the exact same thing that you're talking about, because with every song, it's different. With some songs, I've definitely felt that I had a really strong vision, and then when you create something and it doesn't sound like how you intended it to in your head, and you can't find what you need to get it there, and you fuck with it too much, it does sound a bit wonky. But I always feel like with each song, it's a new chance to do something new. Everything doesn't have to come out. Everything doesn't have to be edited all the way. With some songs, I say, hey, it's not perfect, but I like what I did here. And if people want me to revisit it, I can revisit it. One of the first songs that I ever wrote, like, seriously, because I have a lot of music, but one of the first songs that I ever wrote seriously is a song called Nina's Theme, which is basically about Nina Williams from Tekken. And it's telling her whole story and like her lore or whatever. And when I first wrote it, it was shit. It was awful. Like I said, it's the first song I ever wrote seriously, like beginning, middle, end, chorus, all that shit. So I first got the idea when I was in the backseat of, like, I think my stepdad's car on the way to my cousin's birthday party or whatever, and I was listening to her theme on YouTube, and I was like, this is actually fire. Like, I could probably rap to this. And then I just started writing a whole bunch of shit. And then I recorded it when we got to her house after the restaurant, and I just recorded it in the bathroom. The demo, of course, absolutely awful, but I worked on it I think like 10 times, and I kept fucking with it, and eventually I came out with a version of it that I was really satisfied with.
Nice. Hell yeah. Shout out to Nina
Um,
Williams.
Literally, I love her so much. And see, that's another reason why I really connected with Azealia Banks because I can see myself in her more than Nicki Minaj.
Hmm.
And her one of her first songs that she ever wrote, she said, "I'm gonna be the main bitch in the game like Nina." Like no, she said, "High stepping like Tekken. I'm gonna be a main bitch in the game like Nina." And that's why I'm like, okay, she's literally me.
Yeah.
I can write that like.
Yeah. That's some boss shit. And definitely Nina is way cooler than Anna. Anna sucks.
They have like a forever level beef. They think Drake and Kendrick is bad. Nina was on her head like every single time they were in the same
Yeah,
room.
they're legit trying
She
to murder
slapped
each
her.
other.
But that's just their family dynamic. It happens when you're raised to be an assassin.
Yeah, I was super hyped. I just found out the other day that my copy of Tekken 4 still works. So I was playing Tekken 4 the other day.
What do you play on?
I brought my PS2 over.
I hate that I sold mine because Tekken 3 is my main game, but I'll beat anybody on Tekken Tag Tournament too.
Yeah, Tekken Tag Tournament was a great game because it also had a Tekken bowling feature. I mean, in addition to just being an awesome Tekken game, it had Tekken bowling, which was fun. And I think it also had like the largest roster of those early games. You could be hella different people. So big Tekken Tag Tournament fan for sure.
I
Uh,
liked it because family game nights and switching between the controllers
mm,
with the people in my family, like literally throwing it back and forth for switching between characters. Because me and my cousin, we would always do the even and a combo
hmm.
all the time. And my nephews would do like fucking King and Yoshimitsu.
Oh
And we would
yeah.
fight each other for hours on end until it turned into a real fight. And then we started fighting in real life.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's how it's done. That's how Tekken should be played for sure. Yeah. So would you say like top three club bangers, like top three tracks that they could play in a club that would make you lose your shit? Or just, it doesn't have to be top three, just any three.
I'm thinking the first one is probably Columbia '07. That one, because the song goes don't 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 don't. What for you and you know yeah they talk in town. That yeah. You
Yeah.
play that in the club, I'm gonna lose my mind. That has to be number one. Number two, I can't say. Maybe we'll be based. We can do satisfaction because satisfaction will
Oh,
upbeat
hell
too.
yeah. Yeah, that's a throwback.
And what's probably and then Technologic, bro. If I heard Technologic in the club, but mixed
Mm-hmm.
right, like
Mm-hmm.
somebody did like a sexy ass club mix with it live.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
my god, that would be awesome. Even yeah by Body Rocks and Luciana. I
Mm-hmm.
need to hear that outside too. Like yeah,
Hell yeah. Yeah.
those for sure.
In the clubs over here, they they'll have like sections where they play a bunch of Thai music and then sections where they play English music and stuff like that. They really like that one fucking Travis Scott song. I really think Travis Scott is very mid. I am struggling to think of any Travis Scott songs that I'm like, wow, that's cool. Um, they also really like playing the Macarena for some reason. Um, Justin Bieber, Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars is big over here. The Weekend, but yeah, I like the clubs. I feel like I hate drinking though. That's the problem. I would rather if I'm gonna go out dancing, I would rather not drink. I would rather be sober because then I can dance more. I don't get tired. I don't get out of breath. Uh, I just feel like I have
That's
more.
how I feel when I'm drunk. That's how I feel when I'm drunk.
Yeah, yeah, and like I
Because
feel like that's how most people are. Like most people are like you. Like they have a couple of drinks and then they're like, "All right, I'm ready to go dancing now." Um, for me, it's like I'll have like a couple drinks. I'll be like, "Damn, dude, I want to fucking go home and like watch anime and like smoke weed and like not fucking be here. Um, but it's fun. I also now that I'm like old now, so I like get hangovers and shit, which is that's like the main reason I don't like drinking is because the next day I'm like,
I'm not old, and I've started getting them too, though, and that has made me like cut back. It's like, dang, I need to fucking go hard. Like I was getting fucked up, so I feel like shit.
yeah,
But that's the thing though. I don't like to be heavily or sloppily drunk in a public place. And I don't like to drink at the club either. I'll drink in my house and then go to the club. But I'm always ready to dance, sober or not.
yeah,
So I'm always willing to dance. But I do like the club atmosphere because clubs in LA are very similar, except instead of like the section for the Thai music, it would be the section for the Latin music because they usually have like 3 different rooms wherever you go. So they'll have the section where they're playing like the hip hop top 40, the Latin section, and then like the alt music section or whatever, and everybody like finds their little spot. But I love the club, sober or not. Like it's a fun place to be when you're around a lot of different people and you can learn about society and humanity and what people think and just pick people's brains. I've always said the best part of the club is when you're outside of it talking to random people.
yeah. I'm a big fan of loitering outside the club and getting high and talking to people. I like the club. I like it depends. It depends largely on like the soundtrack. Like if they're playing a bunch of like fucking EDM, dubstep shit, I'm like, I would rather just go home and listen to music and like dance in my room. But yeah, if the music's good, I'm definitely happy to be at a club. I really like small shows, house shows, concerts, and shit like that. Any place that you're able to
Yes.
dance. As
I like EDM though. I like EDM though, but I think it's like a case of whether or not your DJ is good.
yeah,
Because people don't have taste. Because like all the club classics that I mentioned, they're like a lot of them are EDM.
yeah,
I love that shit. But it has to be good. Play classics. Like just like they said on High School Musical, stick to what the fuck you know. You don't have to break the mold when it comes to that. Just know what songs go good together and how to fucking mix. And you can have fun. You can do what you're supposed to do. And speaking of, I'm gonna make you talk about Charlie XCX and her boiler room. Have you seen it?
no, I have not seen Charlie XCX's Boiler Room. Should I watch it?
Watch her boiler room. I think it's gonna make you laugh.
Okay, hell yeah. Nice.
But it's really good though. It's funny, but it's also good.
Yeah, I really like those Boiler Room sets. Yeah, I'll give it a watch. I'll see what it's all about. And I think Charlie has some good songs. I really like a lot of the production on her stuff, but like there's something about like her voice, like the tone of her voice, that just like doesn't sit well with me. It's like I would rather just someone else be singing. I think it's just she's like too British or something. Like
That makes sense because that's why I like her. So it's either I can get that. I think it's either you fuck with it or you don't. Because personally, I love that shit because it's silly. Charlie X, her music to me is silly, mindless, and carefree, and that's
yeah.
why I enjoy it because you don't have to think too much. You just have to move. And I've never been like particularly interested in her
Mhm.
prior to now. I've heard like the things that were popular, and I was like, okay. And then I'll let that be that. But ever since Club Classics came out, I'm interested. I'm tapped in.
Yeah.
And that's like to me, like that's perfect Charlie XCX. That's what her ass needs to be doing. She needs to be British. She needs to say nonsense, and she needs to make good music, have good production. Cause like she said, take the track fast, not slow. Like it's perfect. It fits perfect. It's how it's supposed to be. It sounds right. She doesn't do that every time though.
She's got a
She
song.
really does
She's
not.
got a song called "Party for You," but it really rubs me the wrong way because the whole time she's like, it just sounds like she's saying "potty for you" or "potty on you," and it just I don't know. It just doesn't sound right. It just doesn't. If I'm listening to some British shit, like I would rather listen to like Skepta or like Wiley or something like that, some like grime shit.
Have you ever? Oh, so then you probably do not listen to Luciana.
I've never heard Luciana.
She's very British. She's the inspiration behind 212 by Azealia Banks. And
Okay.
that's how and oop, not the sirens. Ooh, ooh. Anyways, that's how I found out about Luciana because Azealia was on Instagram one time and she was talking about the inspiration and how she found 212 and how it was a good song. And so then I listened to it. I'm like, okay, this is a really good song. I think it's that, or I may have seen it on social media before, but it's probably the first one I said. But yeah, I had heard it and I was fucking with it for like years because she's always been like consistent with the things that she says. So
Mhm.
she said this like years ago. So like maybe let's say 4 or 5 years after she said that, she had a show in LA. And so I got tickets and I went to go see her and she brought out Luciano on stage to open and she like performed the song. It's very like British. To me it's like Charlie XCX's mother.
Okay, I'll give it a
It's
listen. I'll give it a
giving a
listen.
lot of
Maybe I'll
that.
like it more than Charlie.
You will. That's what I'm saying. She's giving more like her inspiration
Mhm.
and like it done right. To me, I love Luciana's music. She is fucking crazy. She does whatever she wants. She always has fun. She's always dancing. Like her music is so like punky to me. It's like EDM punk with elements of like a good club track, but with punk ideals.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it sounds epic as fuck. Uh, any song that you want played at like your funeral? Like if you're going down, like what do you want the place to be banging? If people are paying their respects.
I think about that more often than I should. Like for me, it can't be a song. There gotta be a playlist. Like
Oh yeah,
let's have
yeah,
a
yeah,
playlist
yeah,
going.
yeah,
The whole funeral, the repast, all of that. Let's make sure it's a good banger.
yeah.
The the song I'll probably play is "My Way" by Queen Key to
Okay.
remind people that I don't give a fuck. I live life right. I did what I wanted to do. Um, the life on earth is terrible, but I still have fun.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Cause like my favorite line, my fucking favorite line on My Way is like, my generation going downhill. It's wiping out. Meanwhile, I'm turned as fuck. And
That's all you can really do
it's
though, I feel
silly,
like.
literally, and it's so silly and ridiculous, but it's reality. You can recognize that the world around you is garbage, but what else can you do but fight for what you believe in and live a good life?
Hell yeah. True to that. Amen.
So that's where I'm
Uh,
at.
yeah, 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 yeah. I'm probably gonna have to hop out of this thing in a second. I got stupid work shit.
You're
Um,
good. You're fine.
what's the best cocktail to drink in the club? Like, what do you? If I guess you say you don't drink at the club. If someone's buying you a drink, what do you make them buy you?
Oh my gosh, something must have happened. Like the police, they keep driving by. But I have like I think 3 drinks that I usually go for. My simple one that I usually always go for is like a fucking vodka crayon with
Mm.
like some simple syrup and triple sec and mix that shit up in there. And it's good to go. I'll get a lemon drop. And there's this drink called like a Missouri Star or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know what it is, but it's green, it's sour, and it tastes amazing.
Hell yeah, green and sour and tastes amazing. It sounds like a Jolly Rancher.
Literally, it's perfect.
Nice. Love to hear it. Fuck yeah. Um. All right. Yeah. I'll let you go. Anything else you want to add? Anything you want to tell the people? Anything you want to promote? Any questions?
Oh, Jay, not promote. Um, no, but I will tell the people that the Miss.com album is gonna come eventually. There will be something on streaming eventually. Y'all know what Tame Impala said on Currents. Eventually.
Yeah. Great song. Great song. And we'll be here for it. We'll be ready and waiting, and we'll try and make sure that fucking first album drop, legendary, nothing but bangers, Grammy, maybe 3 Grammys, and then second album, 7 Grammys. Who the fuck
I'll
knows?
get an EGOT. I'll be in like movies and stuff. I'll do Broadway. No, seriously, I would do Broadway. If I ever got vocal training to at least be mediocre, I would do that shit 100%. That's all. That's the whole reason why I'm doing all of this. So that one day I can write an egregious play, perform it on Broadway, and have fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think you'd slay, and I think honestly you'd kill it. I guess that'll be my last question. Do you have any advice to up and coming stars? Like, how do you deal with the star power that you have? You know, like, do you go places and people are like, oh my God, like, you're here. Like, how do you deal with that star power?
I'm dead. No, but don't take it to mean anything. Other people's opinion of you, good or bad, should not influence how you feel about yourself. Don't pursue fame if you don't have a strong sense of self. Work on growing that and becoming better at that, so that whether people fuck with you or if they don't, it doesn't matter, because public opinion is always shifting. You could always do something to be out of the limelight the next day, and now people don't fuck with you. Now you can't, so now everybody's bringing up all the terrible shit you ever did in your life. So whether or not they fuck with you, it doesn't matter. You take it for what it is while it's there, and then when it's not, you still have that confidence and that sense of self that can't be shaken. But hey, that's the best thing that I can tell people to do. Stop giving a fuck whether people like you or if they don't. Because we live on a planet with 8 billion people. Not everybody's gonna like you. Some people are gonna hate you. Some people are gonna love you. It's the trick of the trade. That's how shit go.
Hell yeah. So true. Well spoken. All right, well, thanks for coming on. It was a fucking pleasure to have you. Good luck. Have a good day. Keep watching the old school Disney Channel banger movies.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This was really fun.
Hell
and
yeah.
It was cool to be here.
Hell yeah. Maybe if you ever want to come back and do a second episode, you're more than welcome. Anytime.
You know that I would. You know that I would.
Hell yeah. We'll be in correspondence. All right.
Yes. Okay.
Take it easy.
Bye.
So long. Bye-bye. That was Miss Local Celeb, the most epic celebrity of this generation. A star already, but also a superstar in the making. But a superstar already too. So yeah, that's about it for this episode of the Young Chuck podcast. Hope you had fun. I had fun. Now for me, let's see, what do I got going on? Hey, why can't I see myself? Where am I? Where are you, young Chuck? Get this out of here. Get that out of here. Bring this in. Yeah, bring that in. Well, what's next for me, you might ask? I got some freaking stupid work meeting, some online work meeting for utilizing artificial intelligence in the classroom. And frankly, that sounds horrible, because I don't give a shit about no AI. And I'm not going to use AI in my classroom. And if any of my students use AI, they're going to fail and I'm going to expel them from school. So that's probably what I'm going to tell my boss today. Wish me luck. Young Chuck signing out. Ta-ta.